guys, and welcome to Coco Strands TV. I'm here with a dear friend of mine, Michelle from Aunt Funky's Closet. So it's called The Cut in downtown LA, and what she does here, you guys, she teaches for the culture. She teaches seamstress, right?
Sewing
classes, designers. You can come here, learn how to sew and have some of your things here for sale, right? She sells things. She's an amazing designer and seamstress, right? For the stars and the red carpets. And so I just wanted to come over and highlight your business and show the world. I've also been to Africa, so I do have an African following on YouTube now. So I just want to connect us. Okay? So give us a rundown of how you guys started and what prompts you to start designing clothes.
So I started, I want to say like 12 years ago, and I just started out making accessories, like big chunky accessories for, I don't know, just people who like over the top accessories. And then I used to make handbags out of found objects and jewelry out of found objects and resin and things like that. And then a stylist happened to see one of my bags that I wore to a party, asked me about it, and then was like, do you use them for photo shoots? And I'd never done a photo shoot before. I didn't even know that was a thing. And so from that point, we did a photo shoot, and ended up being at Alicia Keys and Swizz Beat's villa in Beverly Hills. So random.
Like, how do I get to these places?
It was a very random thing to happen. And then we shot it. Everything was great. And I started doing photo shoots every weekend with my accessories. And from there, I realized you make more money selling clothes than accessories. So I started, but I didn't know how to sew. So I would glue, like hot glue, beads and things onto corsets that I would buy. And then somebody saw one of my corsets at a store and wanted to meet the designer because they wanted me to make something. So they liked my design aesthetic, and I ended up making them a dress. And I had never sewn before, but they wanted to pay me $1,000 to make them a custom dress for their birthday.
Okay.
That's all she said. So she told me what she wanted. It was literally a beaded spaghetti strap dress that was short, and she was really tiny. That was all it was, and it took me 3 months to figure out how to make it, up until the day of her birthday. And I was literally hand stitching the straps on. I could make that dress in like 20 minutes now. But from that point on, once I figured out how to sew, from that point on, I practiced every day. I would look at patterns, and I would read the instructions and go step by step. And I would do the easy ones, and then the intermediate ones, and then the more advanced. And I just kept building skills. I would Google everything. I would YouTube University it, everything, until I started to finally find my way. And then about a month after doing that dress, someone called me, a friend of a friend of a friend needed a tailor for a friend of his, and he was a stylist in LA, and I did my first tailoring job with Naturi Naughton from Power. Didn't know. It was a lot of chance.
Legendary.
It was a lot of chance interactions and chance meetings and things, and I did that really well. It was my first time tailoring anything. I didn't even know how tailoring worked.
So let's go back to that. I want to get your mindset at that moment when you're like, you don't know exactly what you're doing, but you got a chance to make $1,000 with a dress. What made you be like?
It was money.
Right.
Money motivated me. I had a regular job. I was a VP of HR for a corporation, and so this was my creative thing.
Made you learn how to do.
Yeah, I mean, somebody offering you $1,000 to do something that's artistic, I'm gonna figure. I bought my sewing machine that day, and then I just figured it out. I was like, the money motivated me to want to do this, and then I didn't even think of it as an option to do for a living. Until that happened, and I was like, well, this could be my life. But I still didn't see this. I never saw this coming of it, but the way I work is I'm not, it's not foreign to me to do an artistic type of job where I get paid to do it. Before I even moved to California, I lived in Texas, and I owned a dance studio for 13 years. So I always worked for myself, but I was not opposed to working for a corporation because I had done that too. I worked for BP Oil and a bunch of other companies, but HR was something that I went and got my degree in, and I was like, I could totally do that. I'm a people person. I know how to do that, and I'm really good at that. I don't want to do it anymore, but I was really good at that job. And so when that opportunity came up, I was like, well, great, I'll make $1,000. And then that that led to the tailoring, and then he paid me to tailor. And I didn't realize that's a job that people can do. And I was a mobile tailor. I came out to somebody to tailor their clothes. I took it home, tailored it, and brought it back the very next day, and got her dressed. And she walked on the carpet in 2 different gowns. And so from that point, it changed my life. I didn't realize that was a thing. And once I realized this is a job that people do, and it's not a lot of mobile tailors that come to you. It's something that the stars, if you're a celebrity, celebrities know that that's a thing. But there's actually celebrities that don't even realize that is an option. But it just costs more. I'm not your average tailor that you see downtown. I do high-end tailoring on garments that are
like suits
10,000. Yeah, suits
are a lot to do.
They're a lot to tailor.
It's a lot to tailor, and she does some of the most immaculate suits. I'm gonna put some here so you guys can see. And so let's go forward a little bit and get to the point where you're like, you know what? I want to start the cut. I want to do this.
I opened my first studio after I quit my first big corporate job, and I ended up suing the company, whatever reason. But I ended up winning that lawsuit, and I decided with that money, I was going to open up my first studio. And it was really small. Me and my best friend and another friend of ours, he was a photographer and she was a designer. And we opened up a small studio in the Arts District. And that started it all. And then as we kept going, I started thinking, I would love for this to be bigger, where other designers could share in a space, because it is expensive to have all of these things, and thread and fabric and sewing machines,
the tables,
everything costs, and it's not cheap. But they do last. And so I thought, well, what if the space was big enough to share with other designers, where they can come and go as they please, but they could use these machines and everything, and basically it's sharing in the cost of the space. They pay me a fee and they can use it and then go.
How long would you say it took you, if anyone's wondering, like, to get to where you're like, okay, I can get this pattern, I can do a straight line? I know it depends on the person, but just to give us an idea of how long it took you to be like totally comfortable to where you're like, I can take this client, let's go, get on the red carpet.
After that first one, I was really nervous, because it was like a big name, and it was these are 2 gowns that she's wearing, and it's on me that they need to fit, because there is no other option. We fitted, we did the fitting and everything. This is what she's planning to wear tomorrow. So like that, where I do the best when I'm under the gun.
I do the best.
But because of that, I knew that I could. Once I did it, I was like, oh, I could do this. And then, I've been doing that part for 7 years. I've been tailoring, and that same stylist, he was like, at the end, he said, okay, well, you did great, so I'll call you ever so often when I need a tailor. And it went from ever so often to immediately, it was like, and I will have another job tomorrow.
That is so amazing.
And so now I'm doing like 15 jobs a week, tailoring clothes for different things. I have a commercial tomorrow that I'm tailoring some lab coats for a commercial. Like it's weird how something as simple as sewing can change your life. Yeah, and so now I tailor for TV and film. I'm a costumer in TV and film, and I do a red carpet tailoring for celebrities for their gowns and their suits and things, for award shows and press days, press junkets and things like that. And I do commercials a lot. I'm a costume designer for commercials. I don't have time. I'm also a manufacturer, so I manufacture small batches for people who want to have a boutique line or something small. So I do manufacturing for small batches.
Yeah. I don't want to tell all y'all my ideas. But anyway, that is so good, Michelle. And I just want to say thank you for opening. Let's get more into the classes, into what you provide for the culture, for the community. And
my showroom is obviously Black owned, but all of the designers are designers of color. And so I wanted a place for designers of color to have those clothes showcased and sold and rented for TV and film. And so because I'm working in TV and film, you notice that the designers that they use, the clothes that they pull are from big white showrooms.
Right.
There's not a lot of black-owned showrooms in LA, but they're usually pulled from them, and they're making all that money.
Yeah.
And black designers are not showcased in those places.
Yeah, they're not.
And so because I do have the proximity of being on these shows as a costumer or costume designer, I'm able to get those clothes from my designers and put them on the show. And not only just put them on the show, but write them a check and say, hey, we used your stuff, here's the rental fee, here's your money. Like, not only are you getting exposure and being able to show, like, hey, this TV show is, this guy on the TV show, the main character is wearing my sweatshirt.
Wow.
Here's also a check that I got from them using my sweatshirt, you know? And being a designer myself, it's one thing to just be a showroom owner, because you don't understand what a designer goes through. We have to buy the fabric, we have to buy the notions, then we have to take the time to sew it, and we make these amazing garments, but everybody wants to use them for free. And it's like, well, how do I continue to make money so that I can continue to make garments if I'm not getting paid for any of it, and exposure is not enough? You should that should be the extra. That should be an automatic, because I mean, like, and if anything, it shouldn't even be a tip. It should be the automatic, because you're wearing something that someone else made, and you did not make it.
Like the hairstylist come and get paid. The stylist,
everybody
the
gets
stylist
paid.
will get paid.
The stylist get paid. They didn't make the garment, but they did a run.
Really?
They have to run around and find all the clothes, and so everyone should be credited and everyone should be paid. And I find that designers are usually the ones that never get paid. It should be an honor that your stuff is on these people, and I was like, that's not fair.
No.
And so so everything out of my showroom is rented for money, and those designers get that money because it was rented,
as it should be,
or sold, you know, and they just pay a fee to just be here.
How dare they?
And it's a fee that's something they can afford. And then with the classes, my classes are it's only 6 people per class. I like classes to be smaller so that everybody can ask questions and get their questions answered. And but I teach in a way that is almost like teaching children. I like to teach in a very broken down way, so that you know step by step, because I was self-taught, and if I can be self-taught and build a business like this, then I can teach you how to sew, because I didn't know how to sew either. So I feel like it makes me a different type of teacher, because it's not so much about the specifics of like the stuff that you learned in school, and it needs to be with the grain and like all those things don't make clothes. People make clothes, and so there's plenty of different ways to do it, and I just hope that my students really enjoy the class, and it's not so much about what they're going to make, but it's the journey of making it.
I just want to tell you guys, like, she teaches you, like, even from the beginning, like, she has the beginning, intermediate, advanced, and even how you thread the machine, okay? How you guide the fabric. She gives you education on what kind of needles to use, everything, you guys, okay? And you can bring in a look, and you can duplicate it. This is a great place to come and learn a trade.
And just learn how to sew.
So I had to share it with the world.
I appreciate that.
But she said yes to my interview, and I just want to say thank you so much. And if there is anything else that you wanted to add, anything coming up that the people can know about, or she's getting married too, guys. She's getting married. I'm so excited for you. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
That's so beautiful. But anything you wanted to add?
I plan on doing more things on our Patreon, where you'll be able to learn online. On our Patreon, it's patreon.com/the Kut Studios, and that's the cut with a K. But you can go on there and subscribe. We have 3 different tiers, so that you can learn.
Everything in the description too, guys. I'll put everything in the description.
So you'll be able to learn how to sew on our Patreon. If you can't make it if you're not in LA, you can't make it to our classes.
Awesome.
Then soon I'll be doing my own patterns, where you'll be able to buy the patterns in different sizes on our Patreon and on our website. We'll be doing some
Michelle patterns?
Yes.
From the cuts?
Yes.
Okay,
we'll be doing some workshops here, some sewing workshops where we're doing like sip and sews and some fun stuff like that in LA. But for the most part, you'll just keep seeing me online. Make sure you follow all of our socials to get the most up-to-date content from us, and we have lots of classes. We have costume making, pattern making, beginner sewing, advanced and intermediate sewing.
And she has little kids.
Tailoring. And I also sell kits.
She has kids, so if you guys don't feel like running around, what to get for like your first, I don't know, like your first time learning
Really
how to
sewing.
sew, she has a kit. I bought one. It's only like $80,
Yep.
right? And yeah, it has everything in there, down to the scissors, to needles, to everything, guys.
And
So
that
she
little
has it all
iron,
together.
yeah.
Let me tell you, this sister has it together, you guys, and she's so inspiring and beautiful soul. And I just had to share her today. I just want to add that I will be coming back because I'm very interested in doing some African patterns.
Okay, great.
Thank you so much.
It was good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Thank you so much for coming.
Okay, guys, thank you. No problem. Thank you for having me. And you guys, make sure you subscribe, you like, you share, and you comment, and you follow Michelle, and you come get a class. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you for watching Coco Strands TV. Okay, so cut.
Ooh, it's so pretty.
Yes, and it's made of 100% leather. Basically, you just take it out the knot. Just take it. It's very easy.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yes. Let's see you fan yourself. It's matching your outfit too, girl.
Oh, this is so pretty.
Yep.
Come on, get right with me. Come on, get up, let's celebrate. Get up.